Hello friends, it's Nico here. Using this art that I found as inspiration, let's get going. Starting using my favorite foundation, I probably put on like 3 coats of this one. I love how this foundation looks. Even when you cake on, it still looks pretty natural. I like to use the concealer after so I can see how much of the dark circles are left uncovered or any blemishes left. And then I'll take the foundation and once again go over all of that again. Forgot to mention this earlier, but I do wet my sponge. I don't like using the dry sponge. I don't know, some people prefer it, but I do like it to be a little moist. Now with the reference picture I used for Killua, I do want to go for a more realistic approach to it rather than anime. Imagining how the character would look like in real life helps me kind of have an idea of how their face shape would be or their eye shape would be or how the character would look. It's personally my preferred approach to it. It helps to find artists or fan art from that character. In the case of this reference, it's just an app that generates this picture with like any character into a animated or 3D character. But there are a lot of fan arts out there that make the character into a 3D or realistic version of themselves, and that actually helps with knowing how to do your makeup to look like them and if you're into that style. Now back from rambling and into the contour. Now I'm doing my nose. I chose to do a little button nose for him because I just feel like he would look like that. I don't know. Just how the art portrays him, I feel like it's pretty on point. Doing the edges and thinning the nose as usual is just on the tip of the nose that I'm gonna change it up a bit. And here on the tip, I'm just gonna go over it very gently to try to get the effect I want without messing it up. So I do put a little bit at a time and just see how it looks and keep gently playing around with it. And here I am being very happy with the results. And to emphasize that bridge and that tip with some highlight. And again, being very happy with the results. I was just very excited that it came out how I wanted to. I do this contour part on the bottom of my lip a lot on basically all of my cosplays. I don't know what it is, I just like how it looks. I almost always forget this part, but it is very important. You need to set your foundation and put some powder on. So this is me going all over that. I use 2 different powders. I feel like this one works better for those parts that you tend to sweat off. And here I grabbed some blush and covered those areas. I feel like it'll give it a more cute look, putting some red on it. Also, it kind of blends it out into my skin. I use very little at a time. I don't want to overdo it and put too much blush, so that's why I keep going over it, because of how little I use. Now for my favorite part, putting some sparkle. Oh, well, it's highlighter, but it just makes it stand out. And now adding more blush, but this time to my cheeks, a little bit hidden. The wig is gonna hide a little bit of it. I just wanted to add just a little bit, enough to make it look like I have some color. And back with the blush, I like adding a little bit here and under my nose, as well as the top of my lips. And on this spot under my lips as well. I never put blush there, but I wanted to try it, so this is me just trying to see if I like it. I ended up liking it. Add in some more contour to thin out my face. And it's finally time for the eyes. I never use white eyeshadow anymore. This is just like a beige light eyeshadow. And I put that all over, even under the eyes and my eye bags and everything. Going in with a light brown, I want to create more depth in my eyes. So I'm going over this corner and under my eyebrows to create that illusion. and back in with the beige eyeshadow to make it be more defined. Same eyeshadow, I keep going over it. I just like to put a little bit at a time and then see how I feel, because I didn't try this makeup before the tutorial, which I tend to do, so this is just part of the process. Now I'm using my favorite eyeshadow color, which is like a peachy red or orange. It's like a peach color. I'm using that one on half of the eye bags and going under the eye bags themselves. I want to create a larger eye look without having to use too much eyeliner, so I use eyeshadow for all of that. When you want to create a more natural, realistic character makeup, you usually use more eyeshadow than eyeliner to create that effect, so this is just me going over what I already did to highlight it. I do love using highlighter, so I did put a lot and kept going over it and over it. I feel like in the end, when in person, when you use this style of makeup, it just makes it stand out more. You do want to go easy on the eye bag highlighter because it does create some creases unless you have a really good concealer that will never crease, but yeah, it did crease a little bit. After the highlighting, I went over it with some blush. I did want to give Killua a more rugged look, make him some eye bags but not too much, which is very contradicting to me covering them in the first place, but it just looks better if it's on purpose. And the most stressful part of the makeup is doing this lining first to know where, if I'm gonna use eyeliner, where it's gonna go. I do this with all my makeups, even if I'm not gonna use eyeliner. But I go over it with eyeshadow. Usually I choose that dark brown eyeshadow to create the effect. Kind of go over it and keep playing around with it. I will be using eyeliner for this look, so I do want to draw out where my eyeliner is gonna go. I left a little gap here, and I'm gonna put it all together with some more eyeshadow or beige eyeshadow under it to kind of open up the size of my eyes. Don't worry if you went over it a little bit too much, just go over it with your sponge. Okay, I lied. This is the most stressful part. I don't even pull my eye. I'm just like putting this finger here to let me know where I want the tip to end. It's hard to do my second eye on camera, so here, just like magic. Closing out the gap with some more eyeshadow. I'm using a light pink instead of the peach, going over both sides to bring it together. For my eyebrows, I don't like to cake up with the glue and then foundation like 4 or 5 times, so I just use this primer. It's actually a primer, but it's white, in order to lighten them. Killua has white hair. If it was a character that didn't have white hair, I'll just use an eyeshadow from that color, but since Killua has white hair, I do use white eyeshadow on top of it just to set it. Brushing helps remove any clumps, makes it look more natural. And now I'm taking just a little bit of black. This black doesn't tint very well, so it makes it look gray, which is perfect because I just want to finish the eyebrow since my eyebrows are too short for what I'm going for. Added more color to other parts of my face, especially in the lip and nose area. I'm putting a little bit of that same eyeshadow, and that's what I'm using for the lip color that I'm going for, since I don't have a specific lip color for what I want. So I do use this one to give it a soft look. Usually go in the inner lip corners. I forgot to hydrate, so this is me doing that later. And then blending the color with my fingers. I feel like using eyeshadow as a lip tint makes it last longer. I do use some lip tint afterwards. This is such a fun part for me. I do love changing the shape of my lips, so I'm going over it to create that illusion that I have these type of lips. Again, this is optional. The reference that I used inspired me to want to do this, so this is my take on it. Always highlight over your lips. It gives it such a nice finishing look. It makes it look cuter and stand out more. And we're pretty much done. So this is the final look. I love how it looks so different when you put on a wig. I am gonna go ahead and put some glue here to get the wig to stay in place. I did take some pictures of this cosplay, so make sure you check it out on my Instagram. I love how this look turned out. I hope you all liked this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope it helped in any way. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below which look do you want to see next.